Ah! Oh, you watch where you're putting that stick, officer. Goodness gracious me. Oh, the Lappy Toppy's here. What's here?
Well, the channel recently hit 10,000 subscribers, so we're doing a Q&A.
Shout out you guys for that, then.
Well, it's actually past 11,000 now, so...
Well, then what are we doing here so late? I've told you guys many times.
You shut your rat ass up right now and record this video before I shove your whiskers up you.
Okay, well, on that note, seeing as I'm being forced to proceed with things as quick as possible, but let's be honest, this is not only this channel, but it's a Q&A where we get a little bit more personal. So I'm probably gonna speak for millions of years. Incoming everyone who leaves comments. This guy sounds like he loves the sound of his voice. Because it's a commentary channel. Oh, let's try and keep things positive though. Thank you very much everyone for hitting 10k. Obviously, I never even expected to get 100 subscribers. That's like 100 people stood there watching me chat a load of nonsense. So 10,000 is insane. And obviously 11,000 is even more insane. It's obviously very cliche of me to say, but I wouldn't be here without you guys. This channel doesn't exist without you guys. So thank you very much, and let's just not get too soppy, shall we? we got a lot to get through. The prison manager actually put out a poll asking everyone if you wanted to see a Q&A. As you can see on the screen here, 6% of you actually said no. So you just need to remember where I am right now. I'm a very bad man. Okay, I can do unspeakable things to you when I get out of here, so just be wary. Yeah, I sound like, who is it? Elmer Fudd? You know, the hunting guy in Looney Tunes? Basically, I will make sure that your days on the oil rig are a living hell. I will surround you with sharks or something like that. I'm not actually going to do anything just in case any authorities are watching from the cameras here. Goodness me. So many cameras on me. I feel like there's a peeping Tom in this. Get back, you beasts!
What did that just mean?
What? Right. On that note, if you were expecting me to be less unhinged, then wrong channel. I'm gonna try and keep this as quick as possible, but let's be honest here. I'm gonna waffle, especially given that this is a lot more of a personal setting, so we're gonna keep going until this bloody camera dies and perishes away. The first comment, congrats man, you know, or you gotta know you deserve it. I have a question for you. Would you collab with 16 Leo if he would with you? By the way, I think it always helps a YouTuber when they include their audience, as in responding to comments. I understand when content makers become so big, it really nearly becomes impossible to keep up with it all. Sometimes extra people are hired to help out. Is that something you've considered yet? I know that some YouTubers have lost subbers because they no longer comment back to fans when they used to, making the fan feel slighted, like the YouTuber forgot where they came from. Just kind of letting you know that the higher you go up the ladder, the more people will be at the bottom to try and shake you down. Always stay true, always stay you. What an ending quote that is, by the way. And I echo that. Always stay you. Because if people don't like you, at least you have the knowledge that you're being you, right? You're not putting on an act. If people don't like that, they know where to go, and that's where the sun don't shine. The part about you gotta know you deserve it, deserve is a strong word. I've always said I don't deserve diddly squat, right? This channel, in life, whatever. I think people work for the things that they get, and I'm not even gonna say I've worked for this necessarily, because realistically, as I've always also said, I'm just a rat boy sat in that chair over there, just chatting shit into a camera, so it's not work. It's by no means something I deserve. I'm just very grateful to even be here because of you guys. The collab with 16 Leo, emphasis on if he would with you. I picked this one to go first because it is something that I do get quite a lot, especially over all this time of doing the commentaries and stuff. I do see people compare me and 16 Leo and similar humor, XYZ. I don't necessarily see it, but obviously you guys are going to be the ones to see things differently to me. And being the self-deprecating rat boy that I am, 16 Leo, I don't mean to put people on pedestals, and I never do. But let's be real. In terms of like YouTube world, he's like up there. I'm like chilling down here with the rest of the rat boys. Do you know what I mean? There are no other rat boys, but if there is, let's make a YouTube group called the Rat Boys. That will surely take off, wouldn't it? Basically, to answer this, and I say basically, I feel like I'm going to speak a lot more, but that's the nature of this channel. I think stylistically, I would collab with pretty much anyone. Like, stylistically, I don't think it matters. Or it would be nice, of course, if me and the person I'm collaborating with would mesh well stylistically in terms of sense of humor, you know, the awkward vibes, the dad jokes, etc. Stylistically, that would just fit, right? But also, unstylistically, I would be open for anything. Like, I have a question in here about a dream job. At least I think so. Let me just use the laptop to... Okay, yes, there is a question there about a dream job. I won't spoil it just yet. That's what YouTubers do, right? You gotta keep watching or something. But non-stylistically, if like a makeup channel wanted to collab with me, genuinely I'm down. If someone wants to chuck me in a desert for 24 hours, I'll do that. If someone wants to get me in front of footballers hosting something, I'll bloody do that. So I'm always down. I feel like as much as I really dog on myself, yeah, I like to think I'm adaptable in terms of content. Like, what we do here is not really content. Obviously, some people see it as that. As I say, I don't really see myself as making content, because in comparison to the very talented people on this platform, what am I doing? But I see myself as very adaptable, so I would collab with pretty much anyone as long as, and this is important, our beliefs align, right? If you think I'm ever gonna collab with someone who for some reason shares very far right nonsense, like, just putting it bluntly, right? You can bet every single dollar in your bank account I will never sit amongst this person. That's so long-winded to basically say I would collab with anyone depending on if our beliefs align. Stylistically, don't care, but you gotta match my beliefs. And I know, you know, it has to be healthy, or, you know, sitting beside someone you don't share an opinion with, people grow together or something like that, but well, that can be for another time. I'm not collabing with someone if we don't share the same beliefs. If they're a bigot, I'm not trying to be there with them. Do you know what I mean? And the whole YouTubers hiring people, let's be honest here, I'm not at that level. And I don't think I will ever be at that level. And if I was ever at that level, I'm not sure I would, because I like responding to everyone. I like reading people's opinions, because you guys share your thoughts that educate me. Maybe I've, you know, misunderstood something in a commentary. You guys help me understand it. So I probably won't hire someone to respond to people, because I'm always going to be doing that, especially if I'm lucky enough to ever make this a full-time thing. Then I've got even more time to respond to everyone. But in terms of hiring people like an editor, maybe, I'm down for that in the future for sure, especially if this becomes full-time. I'm gonna naturally maybe need an editor if I want to put out more stuff, and especially with the second channel, which at the time of recording is a ghost town right now. But I'm getting back to it. What was that noise? Someone has messaged me. My phone is here. But hopefully that's answered the questions. I'm looking in this. That's 10 minutes on one question. That's quite concerning.
Stop it. Get some help.
The next question, if you was wondering if any of these comments are sort of lined up in some sort of continuity fashion, no, they're just all coming at you randomly. So I apologize maybe for that as well. I got a question by Kudzi, shout out, if the TT had a theme song, what would it be? Or also, with the first comment, shout out Veronica, much love to everyone who's left a message, either congratulating us, not just me, but also if you've left a question, shout out. So Kudzi's asking if the TT had a theme song, what would it be? Yeah, I've never really thought about that, to be honest. I do like to break out into song and dance from time to time. Maybe I'll remix a song for the TT at some point, and maybe even upload it, slap it on Spotify or something, and get all 3 listeners on that bad boy. But let me know in the comments, if we did have a theme song, like what would it be? Like, to my mind, the bloody Mighty Mouse theme song comes into my mind, but, you know, we're not all rat people, are we? Or should we? You know, the rat boy, obviously, we got the TT. Should we just all be rat people in the TT? I feel like we'll have too many things going on at once there. But next question, Jen. Congratulations, your channel should be blowing up. I have a question for you. Do you like cats? Do you have any pets? The channel blowing up, is that some kind of TT reference? Any authorities watching this, chill out. Do you like cats? I think cats are alright. I don't really have a particular, like, passion for cats, but I pretty much love all animals, being plant-based. There you go. But do you have any pets? Oh, this might be controversial, though. I prefer dogs to cats. Don't know if that breaks anyone's hearts, but I gotta be honest, right? Do you have any pets? No. That's it. No, I don't know why I was trying to come up with a joke. Like, my mom has me, so like, that's enough pets in the house. But then that wouldn't make sense, would it? Because, shut the hell up. Honestly, I would love a pet, though. I think when I have my own place, I'd love a turtle. I mean, I don't know why, but I just would love a turtle. The next one, the real Terry, I assume? Congratulations, H, another milestone, yes? Now, I don't know if you're saying, is this another milestone? Or are we aiming for another milestone? Aiming for milestones, I think, becomes too complicated, and I don't want to fall back into the rut that I would put myself much earlier on in this journey, where numbers are like a focal point. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes if I see a video hasn't done well for any reason, I do beat myself up. I question whether I belong on this platform. I mean, I'll be honest, I question whether I belong on this platform most of the time anyway, even if a video does do well. But I don't think I'm aiming specifically for another milestone. Of course, would it be nice to hit 100k and get that little silver plaque? Sure, because I feel like that's most people's dreams when they're uploading on this platform. But I'm not going to put too much pressure, because I'm realistically not in control. Like, I know a lot of people do say that you can game YouTube, sort of, you know, you gotta post this specific content, you gotta edit it in a specific way. And by no means have I ever said the videos are that professional. I mean, very low on the scale of professionalism. So, of course, there's areas for improvements which could help the channel, but until that is the case, and until sort of I work with someone who maybe can help in that aspect, right? I feel like I'm content with just being me and not conforming to what the wider YouTube platform wants. Does that make any sense? You know, the fast-paced edits. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever really do that. But you never know. I'm always open to try new things. And given the type of content, of course, it could change. Commentaries, I don't feel like I could do boom, 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 boom. But hey, you never know. Eileen, question for you. If you could change one thing in the world, what would it be? That is too broad of a question for me to answer in one go, I would say. If I could change one thing in the world, if we're specifically doing one thing, I don't know, man. There's like world hunger, peace is a big one. You know, it's so cliche, obviously, to say I would want world peace, but I would probably say world peace. And you could maybe say I'm cheating there, because world peace would entail everyone getting along, businesses not taking advantage of people, governments not taking advantage of people. But I'm going to cheat and I'm going to say world peace. But there is a lot that I would change about this world. But I think a lot of our problems come from people being nasty individuals, whether that is regular, degular, schmegular civilians out there who very much hate other people based on one characteristic, or that's big boys in charge of entire countries absolutely defecating in people's mouths because they simply don't give a shit about anyone else other than the elites. So, that is the answer I'm going to give. My hands at some point is going to cramp, by the way, 17 minutes in, but we'll carry on. Who is the greatest wrestler ever? Kent is asking this, and why is it Shawn Michaels? Also, I'm an auditor, and you have really good instincts with people and behavior. Have you ever thought of auditing as a career? I'll answer that one first, because I have a lot more probably to say about the wrestling question. Auditing, I've got no idea what that means. So if anyone in the comments wants to actually let me know what auditing means, I assume, because you mentioned good instincts with people and behavior, is it like auditing? I think of working in like a warehouse or something and you take stock counts, but we're dealing with people here, it seems. So I don't know. Are you saying maybe, is that like a social worker or some kind? If it is social work, I've never really thought about it as a career extensively, maybe passingly when I was doing my sociology undergraduate, but other than that, I've never really considered it, because as much as I do sit in that chair and chat shit of my opinions on what people should do, what I think is right and all that, ultimately, I'm not sure I should be in charge of people. Just need to point that out. The greatest wrestler ever, obviously, Shawn Michaels is very high up on that list. But, you know, being what incarnation am I even trying to say here? Being of many opinionated forms. What the shit? Being very opinionated, basically. I'm just not gonna cut as much as possible in this video, just so you can truly see the shambolicness. But obviously, if the camera starts doing a madness, I'm gonna cut. But someone keeps pinging off this phone. But goodness, Shawn Michaels definitely up there. But for me, obviously, this might be hella niche, because if you don't really watch wrestling, you're like, what are you saying? AJ Styles is up there for me. Bray Wyatt, God rest his soul. John Cena, of course. I'll get the John Cena hoodie out for you guys if you want. So, there's a lot, but if you want to multi-layer this question, and you want to talk in terms of mic skills, who's better in ring, who can sell a move the best, I'm going to have different answers. So I'm cheating once again, and I'm just going to say mic skills, for me, it's CM Punk. I love CM Punk on the microphone. As a whole, greatest wrestler CM Punk for me would be up there as well. In ring, it's either Shawn or AJ. I mean, even bloody Eddie Guerrero, God rest his soul. And then, I guess, cool factor. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for Jeff Hardy. He's always been like my top guy. Even when I was younger, I would get those like wrist things that he had that looked like he's about to go raving, or I'd do that in the, all of that. So it's too complicated for me to answer. Susan with the next one, congrats. How about a Q&A related to food, like, have you eaten today, my king? I have eaten today. At the time of recording this, it's 8 p.m. So I have eaten, thankfully. Q&A related to food, maybe on the second channel at some point, if that's ever something people want to see. But how much of me can you guys take talking realistically? Ali with the next one, talking about the degree. I'm curious about your criminology degree. You said you're not working in that field and was wondering if it's from lack of positions available or maybe you changed your mind along the way. So, yes, as I mentioned earlier, I'm an undergraduate in sociology, but then I have a master's in criminology and criminal justice. Would you expect that from me? Probably not, because I cannot speak words most of the time. So how did I finish? I ain't got a Scooby. Working in that field or not working in that field, it's not from a lack of positions. But then again, I wouldn't know because I never looked. More so after doing sociology, which, fun fact, I actually did computer science for 1 year before doing sociology. I hated it, and I changed my course because I couldn't hack it. There's a joke in there, computer science, I couldn't hack it.
This is great banter. It really is.
I couldn't hack it is like meaning I just couldn't do it, all right? My brain wasn't in it, it didn't like it, which is ironic because in sixth form, I did computing, so I don't know what happened there. So after the sociology degree, realistically, when obviously the world went into pandemic and lockdown and stuff, I figured maybe this is a good time to do a master's because we can't really go out and stuff, so it's very topsy-turvy time. So I just figured, okay, I did enjoy the criminology modules during my sociology degree, so I just figured I'll do a master's in criminology and criminal justice, I guess. So I did that, and I did all right, I guess. And then I just left it, really. I didn't consider a job in that field. I went straight back into retail once the world opened back up and stuff. And then I found a job unrelated to this field, and that's what I do now. So I didn't necessarily change my mind because I never had a plan to begin with. If that, I feel like that says a lot about me. I just say whatever comes to my mind, and I just go with the flow in terms of doing things in life. I don't know if that's good, but I feel like that is exactly why I've got to this stage in life. After being homeless and stuff. You would have thought, though, it would have been nice that going with the flow, going with the wind would have swept me much sooner into a house. But I forgive you, Mother Nature. But seriously, I never had a plan. I never really looked. So I can't say it's a lack of positions. Maybe one day. I mean, I've got the degree. Maybe one day I'll do a video titled can I do a video titled Criminologist Reacts to blah blah blah? Because I'm not a criminologist. I could say criminology student maybe. But you get it. I'd never thought about it. Sandra, I have a question for you. When you were younger, was there any dream job that you wanted to do when you grew up? I mean, this is going to make me a sad video, I guess. I don't mean it to come across like a sad video. But growing up, I didn't think about anything other than being homeless. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, I don't have an answer. I mean, now I can, if I was to have a dream job now, I would say either working at Chelsea Football Club. I'd love that, genuinely. Oh, this is the bloody question about the dream job. How am I forgetting? Like, my dream job is to be a presenter / host. Like, I don't know what. Maybe of my own show one day, like the H show or some BS like that on TV. Maybe not TV though. I feel like it would be too restricted. And let's be honest, I probably won't do well with people telling me what I can and cannot say. So I'd love to do like a show on the channel and I invite guests on. We speak about things, maybe in a proper studio as well, like a podcast type vibe, but a show, the H show, the TT show or something. So, or, by the way, I would also, I guess it feeds on what I was saying earlier. If there is a football channel or any sort of channel that needs a host to like a game show or something, I'd love to do that. Do you know what I mean? So presenter / host is like my dream job. But in terms of outside of this space, so to speak, I would love to work at Chelsea Football Club. I would love to do hosting stuff on Chelsea's YouTube channel, for example. So yeah, I think that clarifies presenting / hosting is what I would like to do as a job, a dream job, which you could argue that's what we're doing here, right? We're doing presenting and hosting technically. So I kind of am already doing a dream job. But hopefully one day, of course, we can make this full time, baby. The next one, Emily, congratulations, well deserved. Question, you always thank us for sticking around despite the ramblings. What's one thing your audience has taught you over time? Thank you guys, by the way, for sticking around despite the ramblings. Of course, I know not everyone does. And not everyone is going to like everything. I mean, that's a given. I'm not sat there in that chair on some sort of high horse. Oh, you must like me because it's me. That's not the way the world works, right? As long as people are constructive and not bigoted, then, I'll take the criticism. But one thing your audience has taught you over time, I would actually say, is to be more understanding. And to have more of an open mind, especially in the social catfish stuff. I would definitely say sometimes in the beginning especially, I would have an opinion and I would just stick on it, right? But I think, you guys let me know in the comments, I've become more understanding over time in ways of understanding that, okay, maybe there something is at play here, such as, cognitive impairments or understanding behind closed doors something could be affecting this person which has made them act out like this, etc., etc. So I would say you guys have taught me to have more of an open mind because, as I mentioned earlier, I can be very opinionated, which obviously is going to upset some people, but I'm lucky that majority of the people who do find this channel and find us here at the TT, majority of people understand that I'm not doing it in a malicious way. I'm just being honest. I'm speaking my mind. But that's where you guys come in and you make me see things in a different light. And I'm never afraid to hold my hands up and say, okay, I got that shit wrong. So thank you guys. That's what you guys have taught me. Mildred, next one. Here's my question. What made you decide to react to Catfished and other scam videos? Catfished actually came because... Wait, let me just start that over because let's get some professionalism up in this BS Nash. Scam videos I used to watch anyway, right? Kit Boga, Scammer Payback, those kind of guys. Atomic Shrimp is probably the first person I was watching doing scam awareness and scam baiting and stuff. And I just liked to watch that anyway. Having scam victims in my family, you know, very varied as well, right? In my family, there's been victims of obviously monetary scams, which, you know, XYZ pay this, blah, blah, blah. But then there's also been cases of romance scams, the holiday love rat type scams. So I wouldn't say experience, but I've seen it firsthand in my life. So I was always watching videos like that as a way of sort of coping, the humor. And I'm someone who uses humor to cope with traumatic situations. So I've always been a fan of scam videos. Is that something I can say? And the Catfish videos, to react to them is actually interesting in that I've never watched the MTV Catfish show before I watched the social catfish stuff. And the videos that we've covered of the MTV Catfished, that was the first time I've ever watched them live, sort of, with you guys, right? So the Catfish stuff, actually, I was on the wonderful platform of Twitter one day, and I came across this video of the Stranger Things story going viral, and I figured, hey, I was doing reaction videos anyway, and let me couple my experiences, sort of, my humor. Not that anyone gives a shit of what I have to say, but let me just try it, right? And that's where a lot of you guys have obviously found this channel, and I'm very thankful for that. So what made me decide to react to Catfish is the vision that I had for scams, or the experience in my life. And in terms of other scam videos, I was just watching them anyway, so I figured I can watch it with you guys at the same time. Does that sort of answer the question? This is honestly a lot of rambling. We are now 34 minutes in the viewfinder. My hand is cramping. Next up, we got Yagno Masane. Hello. Can we see more of your baby/childhood photos? You are adorable and you're still pretty cute. Thanks, H. I've been on your team all along. Yay, you. Thank you very much for the kind words. I wouldn't describe this as cute, but that's your prerogative. In terms of the baby childhood photos, if you guys remember I did that video, I'll put it in the description box if it's still up. I don't know if it's still up or not, but it should be, realistically. But I think that was most of the photos that I had that I was comfortable sharing. But I'll ask my mum, maybe there's more, and, we could look at more of them. So I'm always down to be doing more real life stuff. It's just that this is obviously where the statistical side of things beats me up. These videos normally don't do as well as like a Catfish video or an AI lover type video, but I do enjoy doing these, Next up, Stuck in Neutral. Vroom? Or something. Do you travel much, if at all? I know you've said on many occasions that you don't get into airplanes, but there are a lot of interesting places right there on the island. Have you ever been anywhere interesting? And if you could and would travel outside the UK, what would be your first destination? Island, obviously, we're referring to the United Kingdom, which actually is not that united anymore. Yeah. So many jokes about the political state. That's interesting. I should probably stop doing them. I don't travel much, if at all. So if I'm traveling across London, does that count? But in terms of England itself, the United Kingdom, no. I've been Brighton once, and I've been Oxford, Cambridge area, but more so Oxford, because my mum has a friend there, so we go there to see her. So, no, I don't travel much. Airplanes, of course, is the main reason globally, but when I do have the time to, I would love to take a cruise somewhere. And I guess that bleeds into the next, where would I go first destination outside the UK? I feel like I've answered this before, but I would love to visit tropical places, Bali, the Caribbean, places like that, because I feel like I don't deserve a lot of things in this life, but I feel like I deserve some sunshine at the very least. I'd love to just be able to sit on a nice beach with a coconut in my hand, drinking fresh coconut water, but just relaxing, Yeah, we're going to get philosophical here. My first destination, I would love it to be somewhere I can go where I truly am free. Does that make sense? In the sense that I don't have to worry about, home life. I don't have to worry about work. I don't have to worry about anything. I'm there just vibing with nature. I don't care if that's a cop-out answer. That's what I want, okay? Even if that means I'm up in Scotland, which is probably like very low on the tropical list. But even if I could be in Scotland, but I'm free of worries, honestly, I'd take it. I don't know if that makes me sound sad, but I'd take it, man. Untokozo with the next one. Well done on 10k. TT is 10k strong. My question is, what do you like to do outside of YouTube? I know you're big into footy. Do you watch with family or friends? Are you part of any fantasy leagues? Not part of any fantasy leagues. My social circle is very small, and the people who are in that social circle don't do any football fantasy leagues, but I know I could do it and just play with the world. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't do any of that. I'm big into football, of course. I watch it with my mum whenever she gets the time to watch it. But other than that, what do I do outside of YouTube? Obviously, this is why the second channel was a good idea, because I do like, when I get the time, to go around London trying new foods, trying new places. I haven't had much time in actually doing that recently, but that's what I like to do. I don't know if that makes me sad, but I like to do that. I like to play video games. I recently got back into Hearthstone. I used to play a lot back in the day, but then I kind of stopped. You didn't ask, but I'm getting back into that. But again, when I'm working at my job, I don't get much time to do things, which is what I was talking about. I'd love to just be free, but So to answer your question, I like playing video games, I like eating food, and I like chilling. I'm really basic, okay? If I was a coffee, I'd be like a pumpkin spice latte. Do you know what I mean? It's just I don't live a very exciting life. I don't travel much, as we established, but I am content that I'm alive and as healthy as I can be. So I feel like you have to take those small wins, I would, of course, like to do more, but I'm not going to beat myself up that I'm not living a crazy lifestyle as some people portray on social media, because that's when I really think you get yourself into a rut. Please, everyone, you're in your own lane. If you are working towards a goal or anything, you'll get there in your own time, Next up, Tenshi Shimura. Congratulations, your music is so beautiful, and I was wondering, where did your music journey begin, And how do you come up with your song inspiration? I think this might be commented on the wrong channel, because my music is not beautiful, and I would very much not call it music. I mean, I break into song and dance, and I remix things so that it's funny given the topic that we're looking at. But it's not a music journey. I don't think I can sing. I'd like to think I can sing in the shower, though. But I feel like everyone sings better when they're in the shower, the acoustics or something like that. But yeah, thanks, though. Music is beautiful. Wow. The comparison between this and other people who say my singing sounds like dying cats and that I should stop it. That just shows you can't please everyone, and you should always just be you, and the right people will gravitate towards you. The song inspiration, genuinely, I don't like to big myself up, because there's nothing to big up. I frequently dog on myself, as you guys know. But alongside me thinking, I'm adaptable in terms of content, I feel like I could do well in a variety of channels and topics. Song inspiration, I'd attribute it to my wit, right? I mean, I'm obviously a big comedy fan, a big stand-up comedy fan. So I'd like to believe I have wit and quick thinking to make jokes and stuff. So that's where the song inspiration comes off. The brain is going, whatever comes out, if it works, it works. Most of the time it bloody doesn't, but hey ho. Next up, Nephilia. I promise it's not a scam, but do you want to turn your 100k inheritance from your dead spouse into my 100? That just sounds like I'm being finessed, even just reading that. Also, congratulations on 10k. We've been here since day one and you never fail to entertain. Keep it going, and don't forget to add or get a grip of myself. I've got it. Can you see that? The question here is actually, do you want to turn your 100k inheritance from your dead spouse into my 100k? So, no, leave my money alone. Thank you very much. And then lastly, not only because we've reached the end of the questions, this hand is freaking dying right now. This hand just feels unnatural holding this for some reason. And then the camera is quite low on battery. So it's fitting. I've waffled for 45 minutes at the time of, this recording. Don't know if it's actually going to be 45 minutes, but you didn't ask. Spiral Sausage. What a name. What influences your sense of humor? Friends was a big part of my life growing up, because in case I haven't mentioned, I was homeless before. That show, genuinely, I don't know if it's like hyperbole to say, if it's like cringe, someone says, that's so cringe, man, whatever. That show mentally saved me a lot of times, and I'm probably, I think you guys can probably guess who in that show, if you've watched Friends, of course, who my sense of humor is based off. And 1, 2, comment down below. 3, 4, 5, that's the seconds I'm giving you to comment. Don't cheat. Matthew Perry, Chandler Bing. I've done a YouTube short before when he passed, extending my condolences, and I spoke about how much he influenced me in that short as well. So he is a very big influence in terms of the sarcasm, self-deprecation, and just laughing through trauma. So he is very high up on the list of my influences on my sense of humor. And then when you start working down the list, you've got Lee Evans, who is a British stand-up comedian who needs to get back out and do another tour, man. I'd love to see him do another show. He is one. Sean Locke, that very blunt, sarcastic, God rest his soul. So, yeah, Those three, I would say, are high up there, but Matthew Perry would be like my number one influence. So I hope that answers this question. Now, I'm probably missing some out, but off the top of my head, I can't really remember. But yeah, Matthew Perry defo up there, Lee Evans, Sean Locke. So yeah, does that answer everyone's questions? Goodness, I've been sat like that for quite a while, like my bloody rib cage hurts. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I don't know if it's entertaining or not. As I always say, I don't think any of these videos really are entertaining from me. But the beauty is that you guys like them. You guys use them in your life, and they help you out. So that's all I can ask for, really. The fact that me chatting shit can help someone, even if it's one person, crack a smile or feel better in any way. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. When we get to 1 billion subs, I'll do another. But genuinely, as we started this video, not the stupid skit, but after that, thank you guys very much. I'm gonna try and obviously not cut this as much, just so it feels more like personal, and you guys get to see who I really am in terms of chatting shit. But that's what the commentaries are anyway. I leave bloopers in there for you guys. I kind of am waffling now. I hope you enjoyed, and genuinely thank you all so much for getting to 10k, getting to 11k, getting to 1. 1 was a craziness for me to begin with. Thank you guys so much. Much love to you all. I'll see you next time. Bye. Never put that stick in me again.